Hello, everyone. This is Jeffrey Kerr. From April 1st through 19th, Theatre Raleigh will be presenting the Tony-winning musical Come From Away at the Deanne St. John's Theatre. I'm here today with the actress taking on the Beverly Annette track. We previously spoke in 2023 talking about North Carolina Theater's production of Mary Poppins. She has appeared on Broadway in The Phantom of the Opera, FINIAN'S Rainbow, A Little Night Music, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and Cats. Please welcome back Sarah Jean Ford.
Hi, Jeffrey. It's good to be here.
Hey, it's nice to have you. So this starts things off. How are rehearsals going?
Oh, they're so fun. I'm having a great time. The cast is wonderful. We're led by such an amazing crew. The theater itself is just a dream to work at. I'm having a great time. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've previously performed here in the Triangle area a few times. What do you enjoy most about coming back?
Well, it sort of feels like home now at this point. I I have performed. I always joke that Raleigh is the only place that lets me belt, which is a silly term, but it basically means that it's a very different part of my voice. Usually, I'm singing up in the stratosphere, high notes, and then I come to Raleigh and I get to like really sit into like a lower part of my voice. But yeah, what's my favorite part about coming back? The people. I have friends here. They feel like family at this point. Yeah.
And this year will mark the 25th anniversary of the events of Come From Away. How do you recall September 11th, 2001?
Oh wow. Well, our director Tim, he led us in a talk about this on one of the first days of rehearsal. So we've all been sort of like talking about it, and it's been at the forefront of all of our brains during this process. I was a freshman in college. I had just started at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I was across the country for the first time really in my life. I'm from California originally. And so that was kind of weird to be so far away. I was in class. Somebody ran in and said that somebody had hit the World Trade Center. And then we were evacuated from school because Carnegie Mellon runs a large deal of the computers from the Pentagon. So we were worried that we were a target. Everybody was worried they were a target at that point. Everyone was scared. So we were off of school for a couple days, and yeah, it was a bizarre time. It was a really bizarre time, and I couldn't get a hold of my family. Cell phones were down. It was a fascinating time.
And what has it been like for you getting to dive into this musical?
Oh, well, I saw this musical in Toronto when it was there right before its Broadway run. I was there doing a show, and I remember being so moved, but like, it's so interesting. You don't really come out humming songs, and because all of the songs are sort of like motifs, and then you like sit in them for a second, and then you move on to the next motif, and then you sit, and then you move on to the next. So it's like I saw it, but it wasn't on my radar as like a show that like I was gonna do ever. So I just really getting into the show, getting this offer, I was like, oh yeah, that show. Like, yeah, sure, let me take a look. So it's all very new to me. It feels very, I don't know, new. And honestly, it's like one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's constant. It moves constantly. I don't want to say it's not linear, because it is linear in like time. You're moving forward day by day or hour by hour in these 5 days that these 7,000 passengers were stuck in Gander, Newfoundland. But the way that it's written is it's very different from anything I've ever done. There's no like, you get up and somebody says a line and then you're like, oh, I obviously respond with this line. It's like you get up, you have a monologue about like a moment, and then you move forward into the next moment. And it's a lot of choral singing, really strong, tight harmonies. it's a really beautiful ensemble piece, which is what it should be, because it's kind of what the whole show is about how we're all in this together, and we're not alone. So yeah, did I answer your question? I don't think I did, but that's what I have to say.
Well, you did in a way, and it's funny because I remember when I saw Come From Away when it first came to Durham, and it was a couple months before COVID hit in 2020, so it
Mhm.
was like one of my last roles in theater going for a while, and yeah, when it came back in 2023, I did see it then, and yeah, it really hit differently coming out of COVID.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, having been through something together, and yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and how do you navigate playing multiple roles?
Good question. With I'm figuring that out literally right now. With you just really have to make very specific choices informed by the character, and make it's all about specificity and just like being very specific. It helps that I'm working with two different dialects. Some people are working with even more. I am lucky that I only have to do the Newfoundland dialect, and then sort of like a North Floridian dialect. So that helps sort of ground each person. And then, Beverly Bass, Captain Beverly Bass, she's a captain. She is, the first female American Airlines pilot in the world. She never took no for an answer. She just went out and did what she wanted. She's got a really strong backbone. She's really strong, and I don't think she takes anything from anyone. And then my other character that I tend to that I focus on, I have a couple more, but Annette is a local to Newfoundland. She's a teacher. She kind of has like this like wild romantic side, and so they kind of both represent both sides of my personality. One is like sort of like quirky and funny and weird, and then the other one is like a strong, bad lady. That's basically me. That's who I am.
Must find a lot to relate to.
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, and as Captain Beverly Bass, you get the big solo number, Me and the Sky, which Jen Colella helped make famous in the original Broadway cast. What's it like getting to learn it?
Oh, I mean, it's great. And you mentioned Jen Colella, who's a friend of mine, and I got to see her in the Toronto production, and her and I are very different, but we can do the same things. So it's been fun to sort of like watch her and listen to her and be like, okay, that's Jen's version for sure, and then sort of tackle it from my own perspective. The vocal part of it is really just so fun, and it fits really like smoothly into my voice. It's a bit of a challenge, but like not too much, and so that part is very fun to get to like just wail vocally. There's a lot of words in that song, and it just kind of keeps going, and there's no time to like swallow or like breathe. So I have to technically really map out those moments when I can like take a breath and 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 talk about like that song is actually very linear, and that she's like really telling the story of like how like it's her entire history of conception of I want to be a pilot to now I'm flying and I am the first American Airlines female pilot, and now I'm leading the first all-female crew, and then to I'm in the air and I hear from air-to-air traffic that there's been a terrorist action. So it really just tells this whole story. Yeah, it's great. It's great to get to enjoy that. And again, a song that was not on my radar. I did not know it, so I really just had to go in and find it for myself. and sing it a lot. I basically sing it a whole lot. My poor neighbors, where whoever they may be, God bless you, because you just listen to me scream in my apartment. You know.
Yeah, part of what you were talking about reminds me of a story I believe Harvey Firestein told how when you was done singing "You Can't Stop the Beats" in Hairspray, he would nickname it like "You Can't Stop to Breathe."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and when we last spoke, you mentioned how like the first big credit on your resume was the Chicago production of Wicked. How do you look back at that?
Oh gosh, I was so young. I was right out of college. It's funny because everyone in the cast kept saying, "Oh, you're so green, you're so green," and that was their way of saying that I was so young and I didn't know anything. And now I look back and I was like, "Oh my God, I was so green. I didn't really know, and I didn't know anything." You know what? That was like being on stage was so much fun in that show. It was so big. There was it was so beautiful, and the lighting design and the set design and the costume design, like every bit of it was just magic. And we were the third company of Wicked ever, so it was very much in its beginning stages of fandom, and we were in the rehearsal room with the full creative team and producing team. It was brand new, really, at that point. So it was a very special thing to get to like come into that show and kind of create a little bit. It wasn't so set in stone that I couldn't do something that was a little different, from the original, and that was very, very fun. That being said, I didn't stay in that show for too long. I left right when my contract was done, and that was just because it just wasn't the right time for me to be sitting down in a show in Chicago. I wanted to be in New York, and so I did. So I moved to New York. I left that show and moved to New York.
Yeah, and I actually spoke with Christy Cates a couple of years ago, who was also in that as the Elphaba Standby.
Yeah, yeah, I got to work with Christy. We rehearsed together an awful lot. Yeah.
And currently in previews on Broadway is a brand new reimagining of Cats, and you got to be in the first revival about a decade ago. What was that like to be a part of?
Oh my God, it was like it was like a drug trip. I don't know. It was. I had never seen Cats or really listened to Cats. I sort of boycotted Cats as a child. I thought it was like silly and dumb and not real musical theater, and I was very opinionated about it. So when I got it, I actually got it alongside my best friend Tyler Haynes, and Tyler and I had both never seen it, and so we sat down to watch the like pro shot of the, I don't know which cast that was, but it was a pro shot of like, maybe it was like the original cast, I don't know. And we went and watched it, and like I think 15 minutes in we paused it, and he was like, he had this like deer in headlights look, and he said, "What did we do? What have we gotten ourselves into?" And I said, if I am not on the ground crawling around like a cat for at least a week in rehearsals, I'm quitting. I was like, I need to be just all in. I got to drink the Kool-Aid here and just be a cat. And we did crawl around on the ground. The original director of the production, Trevor Nunn, came back and worked with us, and we did full-blown cat imagery and like cat. We became cats. So by then I was just like, oh, this is so fun and so weird and so insane. And then I was dancing my face off and singing my face off. That was the hardest thing I've ever done, hands down, the hardest thing ever. Hard on my body, hard on my voice, hard on my brain, my soul, but also very rewarding to be in an ensemble like that, and just the most incredible dancers on Broadway. It was a very weird thing. Luckily, I have seen the Jellicle Ball. I saw it off Broadway, and I got to bring my daughter to it, who was 10 at the time. And from the moment it started, it was like and encouraged you stand up and you dance and you sing songs, you sing with them. You know, they really want you to be a part of the party. And she was so embarrassed by me, and I was like, "Girl, like, I just want you to know that like this isn't gonna stop here. Like by the end of this, like I'm gonna be on the chair, like hands in the air, singing." And then she joined me by the end, and she had a good time.
Wow.
I'm really excited
No.
for them, for that cast to move to Broadway and make that Broadway money. They deserve it. They deserve the whole world.
Yeah, and it seems you suddenly have a habit of getting diving into shows, fan favorite shows you previously weren't really too familiar with.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I know, right? Here I am.
And your previous credits in the Triangle area were 9 to 5 and Mary Poppins, both with North Carolina Theatre. Since then, they've closed up shop. How do you look back at your time with them?
Oh, it was so great. It was a fast process, you know. You rehearse only for I think 2 weeks, and then you're up and running, and so it's it's really fast. This process here at North Carolina Theater is we really have a lot more time. It almost feels like it's luxurious to have so much time to put a show together. But No, I mean the talent pool out here. Obviously they bring in people from New York. They bring in people from everywhere for North Carolina Theater and for Theatre Raleigh. But the local talent out here is just so good. And that's always one of the fun parts about this is like meeting locals and 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 respecting and being inspired by the local talent and being like, oh yeah, like the only difference between me and you is that I live in New York City. That's it, you know. So I think that my time with North Carolina Theater was just that. It's like just being so inspired by like our locals and yeah, our locals. See, like it's like I live here, you know.
Well, yeah, one would be amazed to see how much talent has come from, this area. I mean, one of them, I should give a shout out to Sara Clink Scales, who's actually now on Broadway in Cats the Jellicle Ball.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and looking ahead into the future, what are some dream roles you would love to pursue?
Oh, well, as it's so interesting when you're like just starting out, you're dreaming about the roles that you can play right then. And a lot of roles are written for 20 somethings, like 20 somethings in love. That's like it. And that's really kind of like a lot of theater and musical theater, especially. That those are sort of the stories that are being told. And as you get older, I'm starting to realize like, oh, like there's not a lot written for women in their 30s, 40s, 50s. It's like you're an ingenue and then you're an old crone and there's like really nothing in between. Which is why Come From Away is very special and different in that way that there are older people on stage, and it is because it's a story about real people and it's not just about like who's in love. And actually the love story on stage is between two older people, which is again, another true story, which is pretty cool. So as I get older, I start to realize like, oh, I can play these like roles that were never, like I keep saying, on my radar. Like these were never roles that I like really thought that anybody would let me play, but maybe they will, So like I want to play Madame Thénardier in Les Mis. I want to play Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. I would love to play the mother in Light in the Piazza. Yeah, these are some of the older roles that I want to play, and unfortunately, I don't know if I'm old enough yet. So I'm still waiting, and also I'm a writer, and I learned very early on that like I needed to write the roles. So I'm currently working on that.
Yeah, I guess that segues into the next question. Before we go, do you have any other upcoming projects that you'd like to share with us?
Well, Not quite yet because they're not really ready to be seen and heard and all the things. But you can check out my web series that I wrote and I starred in, and my writing partner and my husband directed. It's called The Aging Ingenue, and we did it. I don't know how many years ago, but it's on YouTube and it was on Broadway World, and yeah, check it out. The Aging Ingenue.com, or just Google it. Just a 6 episode little mini series, and yeah.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, you even got to perform that at Theatre Raleigh a few years ago.
Yes. Yeah, I did a show called An Evening with the Aging Ingenue, which was based off of the web series. And yeah, got to do it at Theatre Raleigh. But now I get to be in the real space. Before I was in their really cool, intimate cabaret space, but now I get to be in the real space. And we're doing the show in the round, which is very fun and challenging.
Having caught just in time a circle in the square a few months ago, yeah, it certainly is. I can tell for the performance, it's something to perform in the round.
Yeah, yeah. Our director's doing a great job at just trying to figure out how to really, what story does he want the audience to be looking at and to be paying attention to, because there's a lot going on stage, and so you have to really like pull their attention no matter where they are in the theater. And yeah, it's a fun job for all of us. It's a challenge.
Sarah, I thank you very much for devoting your time to this conversation. It was great getting to talk to you.
Great talking to you too, Jeffrey. Always good to see you.
Hey, likewise. So, for those who'd like to keep up with your career, where can people find you on the internet?
Ah, yes, that good question. Well, I have a website, sarajeanford.com. That's pretty easy. Sarah without an H, jeanford.com. And then you can find me, I don't know, I have an Instagram account, and that's at Sweet Ford. Like, that's tasty, sweet Ford. At Sweet Ford.
Be sure to catch Theatre Raleigh's production of Come From Away, running from April 1st through 19th. You can find more information through a link in the description. So thanks again for joining me today, Sarah. This was great.
Thank you.